Hi, guys. We're back. Claire Bacon, the infamous Claire Bacon, Slutty the Clown. I am your friend, Abby Road Rage. And we are here yet again with once more with Abby and Claire to discuss two more Buffy episodes. Really hope you're all watching along and you can give us some pointers and some facts that we didn't know. But
Yeah, definitely.
first, before I jump in, how are you today, Claire?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you. All right. So let's jump right into the first episode. This week, I was actually super excited because, like I mentioned last week, I love every episode, but the last week was not my favorite. It was just like, yeah, they're an episode. These two are actually two episodes I genuinely enjoy. The first one being Nightmares, which opens with a little boy that looks remarkably like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but is not, in fact, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. If you were,
No,
because I said
like
I didn't know he was in this. But Billy Palmer is not played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He's played by Jeremy Foley, but
all right.
spitting image.
Yeah,
so,
it does look like him.
He really, like creepy. So this episode is just a fun one.
Hey, Lauren.
Gentleman.
Yeah, we are sexy sods.
There's a gentleman in class, Wendell, Justin Zurich, and he's, everybody's in class and he goes to open his textbook to read. And next thing you know, there are tarantulas all over his body, crawling up him, crawling down him, and he's screaming. And I would have been hyperventilating. And,
yeah, they were pretty scary. The spider scene is pretty scary. I'll be honest, I'm not going to lie.
No, and I remember when the episode first came out, I was saying to myself, there's no way as an actor I can let a spider crawl on me. Although lately something's changed with my fear receptors. It's probably got something to do with like antidepressants or something, but I don't have the same level of fear of things that I used to.
No, and I'm less scared of things I used to be.
Possibly let a spider touch me. And if you knew me, that's huge. Anybody that's watching this, like my friend Joe Catogio or Corey Lincoln, like they will tell you I had arachnophobia. Like I can't be in a room if there's one. So now I've worked on that. Anyway, I still wouldn't want 30 of them crawling up and down.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have arachnophobia, but I don't want them crawling on me. You know?
Yeah. And then
I'd rather that didn't happen.
There's a level of, oh, that's cute. And no, I don't think so. So stuff just sort of starts. Willow's description of spiders is just like,
I've actually written that down.
Just you read it to me because I didn't. I just remember loving it. And
which was the bit where it says, "What do they need that many legs for anyway?"
Yeah, well,
that was the bit I wrote down. What do they need that many legs for anyway? And I agree.
I have this saying, and I've said it to many people, and most recently, I think I said it to Adam when we were watching the movie. I don't trust anything that has more than 4 legs.
No.
Why do you need that many legs? Just
doesn't need
faster
them.
And terrifying. And that's my theory on everything that crawls this earth. If it has more than 4 legs, it makes me uncomfortable. I'll get over it, but it makes me nervous. So yeah, I love her so much. So then you start picking up on little things like Cordelia mentions a test. And Buffy's like, test? There's a test? I didn't study for a test. And you start picking up on these tropes that are these nightmare scenarios. And
we've got the naked Xander.
We've got the naked Xander that walks into class with
is great.
Which is adorable.
And then we got another one where what was the other one? There was another one that was fun. It was the fact that Giles couldn't read.
One with Xander with the murderous clown is quite possibly my favorite thing because I have friends that have clown phobia and it makes me laugh so hardcore. Willow having to sing with the Pavarotti-esque singer who's looking at her like,
the opera style thing, yeah.
And
was it Carmen or something? I felt like it was the Mikado or Carmen or something like that.
And she's like, what? And so these things, and obviously, I'm sure you've had this happen as well. You all have that dream of, where am I going? I'm supposed to be here. Mine is usually going to the airport, or I'm supposed to be at the airport and I can't find my suitcase, or
I have a similar one. Yeah.
One time I lost my baby, and I don't have a baby. That was a weird one. So anyway, these things start happening, and then a young woman is attacked and beaten senseless by some sort of bludgeoning object. And as everyone in Sunnydale is so caring and loving, the librarian and one of the schoolmates go to the hospital to see how she's doing. And she mentions that somebody that beat her up, she does say that he's, she couldn't really make out his face. He was kind of gross. And that he called her as they were leaving the room and said, even if it seems weird, tell us anything. And she said, lucky number 19.
Yes.
And they said, huh? And she said, he called me lucky number 19. That's weird, right? And they're like, yeah, that's totally weird. And then they leave. So we've got lucky number 19. We've got this girl getting beaten up. We've also got, was there somebody else that got, or was it just the things that happened with the spiders? I don't think anybody else got beaten up yet, did they?
No, Cordelia got pushed down the stairs.
Oh, no, Harmony got pushed down the stairs.
Harmony, that was it, sorry. Oh, that's second.
Oh, that's the next episode.
I'm going forwards.
It's so funny. I was just thinking the same thing about her boyfriend, but we'll get to that later. So
yes.
Anyway, Buffy. So Xander and the Murderous Clown is my favorite because he's freaking out and running, and then when he finally faces his fear, he punches that clown right in the face, and it's just so freeing for people that have faced those fears. But then they go outside. Now Giles finds he can't read. He can't, like, his big squishy lobes are no longer words. Yeah. So, which is obviously his biggest fear, his biggest nightmare. And as they're outside the school in beautiful daylight, we see a sort of portal opening to a cemetery at nighttime. And Xander's like, who left the cemetery there, man? Yeah. And they come to realize that this is, as they walk through, they find Buffy's headstone. And he says, oh, this is my nightmare. And then Buffy bursts forth from the ground, as Buffy does, only Buffy's a little bumpy in the face area.
She's Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
She's Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
And we realize that Buffy's biggest fear is becoming a vampire.
Yeah.
And not being able to fight back against the things that she has to do. So now, yes, she's a vampire. Yes, she kind of wants to eat them all, but she also thinks I can utilize this strength that I have. In the interim, they have come to determine that there is a schoolboy. One, they're leaving the hospital from the student that got beat up. They meet, or they see a young boy in a coma, Billy Palmer. They do a little research, as the Scoobies do, and they find out that he was beaten. He was the second or the first to be beaten and was in a coma since like Saturday or whatever. And as
I think Buffy's been seen around the school, hasn't she, as like an apparition when the time's been lapsing.
And every time, that there's a nightmare going on, this little boy's like in the background, just looking all Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And so then Buffy realizes, I've got vamp strength. While I can still think about, not just eating my friends, I'm going to take this guy out. So she goes hog wild on this beast of a monster man that's got like squishy clay face, and his hand
it's very scary.
Is like a mallet hand, like just a big old bat.
Yeah, it's got this huge hand, doesn't it?
It's like one of them paddles on but made of fleshy flesh. So anyway, fight ensues, as it does. Buffy, as she does, kicks some major butt and talks Billy into waking up, since they're now in this dream world and this dream is happening, and Billy is in the coma and in the bed next to him, but standing next to his body. She talks Billy into standing up for himself. And something that she had said to him while he was still under was, or when she was talking to him in the dream state, was that he was blamed for losing the game, the baseball game. And you come to realize it's his coach that
it's pretty dark, this episode, I feel. It's very dark.
Yeah,
it's very dark.
Quite dark for a young boy to be beaten into a coma by his baseball coach because they lost.
Exactly. I mean, that reveal of of it being the coach is dark. You're like, wow.
Yeah, it was really dark. And then, you know, she says to him, "There's 8 other people on the team. What do you?" And so when Billy wakes up, they're standing in the doorway. All of a sudden his baseball coach comes in and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know, you know, people would be here. I just come to see him every day, blah, blah, blah. I'm his baseball coach. He's my lucky number 19." And everything clicks into place.
Yeah.
And she goes, "You know what? He's awake," and kind of steps aside, and there's Billy, and this dude's face goes, "Oh, blah, 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 blah," because, you know, he knows he's pretty much effed from this point on. And Billy then repeats to him, "It's not my fault. You know, there are as a whole team of people," and which is a lesson there.
It is. And again, as we see with Buffy every time, there's always that lesson, that parable,
the little, fable,
that nugget of knowledge,
or whatever. Like I said, some of my favorite parts of this, well, I love Sander. I love the scene with, you know, he just literally is picking up candy bars and eating them as only Xander would.
I've literally put feels of Hansel and Gretel. I mean,
100% following the
completely. And then we have that Wizard of Oz reference as well. There's a Wizard of Oz reference later on.
Do you remember where or when?
About you're not in Kansas now, or something like that.
Okay, yeah. When that's when they go into the dream.
Yes,
I love when they
not
do
in Kansas anymore. I think
homages
that's what it is.
To other.
There's that as well, which is really nice reference, I thought.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. So still, meanwhile, in the Hellmouth, though, we do see that the Master of Evil explains to his boy heir Colin that fear rules people better than love or hate, and that he was the one using Billy and his coma to kind of attack the students of Sunnydale in only the way the Master can, which I thought was pretty cool. I probably picked up on that before, but I don't know that I noticed.
I feel rewatch as well, that opening scene right at the beginning when we're going to the underground, under, you know, his lair under Sunnydale, you know, under the Hellmouth, and kind of the whole establishing shot that we use in the trailer. It holds up. It looks great. It's really creepy, you know, and it holds up the whole way that underground Hellmouth looks. Of where the Master is.
It holds up. Full vision.
Yeah. And the shadow on the wall as she's coming past in the opening title. It's a really nice episode. I love this episode.
Yeah, this like I said, I was really excited when I sat down to watch these two. As I am for every other week.
Yes.
I just know that I had mentioned that like last week's was just there's a handful of just okay episodes. I mean, any show will have that. It's nothing against them. They're still good.
I feel season 1 and 2 have more of those episodes than the rest of the seasons.
You think?
Yeah. Okay. I think 1 and 2 have more of those that I kind of like, they were
trying to get their footing maybe and then develop a deeper story once they realize.
Once you get to sort of the later seasons, then
yes,
you're on a roll.
Because as we know from Joss Whedon, sometimes you have a full story planned out and you get canceled after one season. Looking at you, Firefly.
Looking right at the rest of your life. Looking at Dollhouse also.
Oh God, I love that show too.
Yeah, me too.
So
and they just went,
maybe it was just him finding his footing and learning
absolutely
into things. So this was a fun episode. I definitely give this one a 2 thumbs up. How about you?
Yeah, I totally agree. The thing would give me when Buffy's dad and it's not Buffy's dad, that's heartbreaking.
Oh, I forgot about that.
This one had tears in my eyes again on a rewatch, and I remember it being terrible the first time.
Yes, so
but a poor little heart, you know, it was really quite hard to watch back again. I thought
when Buffy woke up that morning, she's talking with her mom, and she's like, "You think Dad will show up, right?" And she's like,
anxious.
Are you nervous that he's not going to? And she's like, "No." And then, yes, in her nightmare escape,
it was all her fault. He doesn't want her. She's a disappointment. All the things he said, and
shows up.
You kind of watch it with the tears, and it's like you kind of watch that bit, and you're like, "That's heartbreaking," you know. Even
It's hard. It's so hard because, again, he's saying all the things that are her deepest, darkest fears. I
Deepest
never
fears.
wanted
Yeah.
you. You ruined my life. Let's just call this, and don't cry. What are you? You're gonna
But
put
what we
this on
can
me?
say is this is kind of a full circle thing, which we no spoilers as we do it as we go. But it's full circle because it's the thing that scares you the most. We know where that goes later on, but that we'll get to, obviously.
But that's another story. But yeah, I agree. I forgot all about that. Thank you for bringing that up. What else you got? Anything good?
That's about it for this episode. As we said, we have no music for this episode yet again. But the only little gem I kind of had for this episode, as such, which I'll do at the end of this one, is that it's Bruce Seth Green, Oz, who comes along a lot later as father, directing this. I feel he's directed, I think I saw 10 episodes altogether in different places.
I never knew that. That's great. I love
I'll be honest, neither did I.
Maybe we can link some of the things that he's
I'm going to have a look and I'll find some links to pop in our description. Yeah, I mean, great stuff. Green. I mean, as we know, great characters come up for us when we talk about him. But yeah, great director as well. And that's what I've kind of got for this one. But yeah,
I can't wait. I can't wait for Seth to come into the show, man. Because
so I'm kind of waiting for all sorts of bits. It's like we're chomping at the bit.
That's awesome. Yes, thank you for. I did not know that, and that's great information. And I'm really excited about that because that's how I work. So all right, so then we'll wrap up this Nightmares episode, and we're going to go on to the very next episode called Out of Mind, Out of Sight. And again, this is another one of those episodes that I forgot how much I enjoyed, and the main reason being the actress Clea Duvall. She plays Marcey Ross. Now,
she's outstanding.
Clea Duvall is one of those underrated actresses that I just adore.
Absolutely great actress.
And I'm not even going to just go to her IMDb, or we'll link that just so you can see all the things she's done. But she's just a fantastic actress, and I adore her. So anytime I see her, I'm excited. But we don't know about her just yet. We just know that Cordelia being Cordelia, and there's, which dance is this? This is the May Queen election.
The May Queen, yeah.
And Cordelia being Cordelia is rude to every person. However,
she's a sweet bitch in this one.
She's a sweet bitch in this one. So Cordelia's date for the May Queen election is Mitch, the hunky jock, Mitch with
the hunky deuce.
Yeah, and he's just as much of an asshole as she is, and everybody
exactly.
She's out with. And he goes into the locker room, and then he gets beaten by a floating baseball bat, as one does sometimes in Sunnydale when there is, things happen.
Yeah, because that just happens. That's normal. That's Tuesday.
Yeah, it's just Tuesday. Dawn's missing. Must be Tuesday. So, anyway.
Wow, great quote.
At one point, Angel does come in and meets with Giles, which is pretty cool, and says that he can
that's quite nice seeing that.
The Paragon Codex.
Paragon something?
Codex.
That's and it, Codex.
It's got like the best parts of the books for the missing prophecy about the master and all that other blah, blah, blah. So anyway, that sort of interrupts. And then we go on to Cordelia, again being Cordelia, about how him being beaten is all about her and blah, blah, blah. Talking with, and I believe this is, our second meeting with Harmony since the beginning, but I do love more Harmony.
Harmony is a character that's just...
She's hysterical.
She's great. Absolute, total. Everything she's done.
She's been, the thing is with Harmony, and again, I don't want to spoil, but she's been every alignment in all of the categories.
Absolutely. She's done every part and every bit, and she has been outstanding.
She's fantastic. But anyway, Hermione, listen to me, Harry Potter. What? Harmony takes a tumble down the big old stairs. And at the bottom of the stairs, they're like, oh my God, I don't know what happened. She just fell. And Harmony says, I was pushed. So this is, again, and then now let me just make sure I've got this right. Mrs. Miller, the English teacher, is going to help Cordelia with her homework. So again, somebody else that centers around Cordelia that's been kind to her. And Cordelia's supposed to meet her to do help with the homework after hours. And we come in and Ms. Miller is nearly asphyxiated with a plastic.
Again, brutal scene.
Brutal. I mean,
back over the head.
Just and the words "look" and "listen" have been written near the victims.
Yes.
So we're starting to, the Scoobies are starting to kind of put it together that the common denominator in all of this is the big C herself, Cordelia. And so now, of course, Cordelia's like, why would anyone want to hurt me? And they decide that they're still going to have her go to the May Queen celebration, but she's going to get changed in the closet, and Buffy's got to keep an eye on her and yada, yada, yada. And then Cordelia gets attacked from inside the closet, from above.
Literally,
actually.
Yeah. You see a little legs dangling. That's what Buffy
dangly legs.
The daughter. It was just little legs dangling.
Buffy busts in. We save Cordelia. Buffy finds this room up above the school where is like almost like a dormitory or a bedroom of somebody. And they come to determine, based on looking at her notes, books, and her poor, what do you call it? The book, the photo, the school. Yearbook. Thank you, my brain.
Yeah. And I'm English.
I know.
We don't have those.
I know, but it's just, and it's so common.
But it is, and they go through and they see that everyone's commented, don't they, and wrote their little "Have a great summer," and that's the kiss of death.
Code word for I don't know who the hell you are, and I'm just writing in your
exactly.
book. Even Willow and Xander have signed it.
I didn't remember her. Nobody
Willow did say like a really great summer or something, so she feels she, got a little extra in there. But so they learn
Cordelia needs a tutor, Clint says. You offer him, Cordelia.
A tutor, huh? So we determined that Marcey Ross is the attacker. She was basically ignored so brutally by all the people around her in life that they made her feel worthless, that she actually became invisible. And now she is seeking her revenge on Cordelia, that she feels is the ringmaster of all the evil that's happened to her, which she probably is.
Yeah.
And in this time, Buffy is knocked out while up in the room and wakes up to find Cordelia tied to a chair in her pretty dress, and Buffy tied to another chair.
Yeah.
And a knife, a scalpel floating around. And
I love the bit where Cordelia is like, what's wrong with my face?
Yeah, I can't.
Because she can't feel it because she's numbed her already.
Because she wants to, she doesn't want her to pass out from the pain when she does what she's planning on doing.
Terrifying.
Again, very dark episode. And she does give Cordelia a nice little slice down the cheek at one point. And
it's quite
that's when she loses her shit. She really starts to panic.
She screams quite loud in that. I don't really notice that actually till what's wrong.
Yes.
She's actually really screaming, and she's not really a screamer in the rest of it.
No, she
kind of one way she's
maybe they dubbed that. They needed that pow. But Buffy breaks out of the chair, is trying to fight her. But when you're fighting somebody invisible, then Buffy goes all Zen Jedi and,
Inner Slayer.
Where it's coming, and then kicks a curtain on top of Marcey.
Yes.
So that we can now see where she is, and Buffy can kick the crap out of her. As this is happening, the
FBI agents coming, don't they? They just appear.
Now I don't know. Do they say they're FBI? They give me shades of Initiative, and I'm not sure.
They give me Men in Black vibes a little bit.
Yeah, they're the Men in Black. They bust in, they take her.
Yeah, they've been watching earlier in the episodes.
Yeah, I have to see, because it was, I kept going, oh, it reminds me of the Initiative, like this underground
Yeah,
sort of that knows all about this. So it very
yeah,
possibly could have been the birth of the Initiative. I did like
probably.
after this, Cordelia does come thank the gang for
It
saving
lasts
her, which
about
is very
3 seconds though.
for 3 seconds, until the douchebag Mitch shows up, and then she's like, I ain't talking to these people. But it still was pretty sincere for a brief moment. And they had that discussion of, even though I'm super popular and I can be in a room with a bunch of people, I still get lonely too.
Yeah,
And although I don't
I quite liked
necessarily
that.
believe it from Cordelia, I know myself and you, we feel those
Yeah,
things.
you
We
can
can
be
feel
incredibly
that
social but still feel incredibly alone.
there could be, a million people around, and you just feel like you're totally alone. And
Absolutely.
this, I think that's why this episode hit so
Great
much.
message yet again, which, they can say what they like about anything to do with the show, but it always had a message. It always had a
They
parable.
always
It always
have
had
something in there to just say, look at this bright side,
a
and this
good
is what we're
message.
doing.
Always.
And then they do a
Clint
little
says,
kind of,
have a great summer. Finger guns.
then my favorite part of this episode, and actually, and Claire and I discussed this off camera before.
Yes.
This is something I've seen this episode a number of times, as have probably most of
This
you.
has blown my mind.
And I noticed something new for the first time, and it made me so excited. So the episode closes with Invisible Marcey being brought into a school-like facility, and saying, this is where you're
I don't
going
want
to
to say
stay now.
assassination school.
And it's kind of like, like a Professor X. It's like an X-Men sort of, and he takes her to a classroom, and you see an entire class full of invisibles. Well, you don't see an entire class full of invisible students, but they all have
Just
their
the
books.
empty chairs, but you get the idea. The books are moving.
Invisible Marcey takes her seat and opens the book, and it says chapter 11, assassinations and infiltrations. And she's like, cool. And this is the part that I never noticed before, because I actually just pushed pause to make a note and looked at it.
Blown my mind
It
with it. I've
says,
never noticed ever.
yeah, case example number 1, radical cult leader as intended victim, August 2nd, 19XX. And then right below that, they list they list the first, at least, paragraph, the lyrics to Happiness is a Warm Gun by the Beatles. So that intended radical cult leader as intended victim, they're talking about John Lennon. So does this government agency the one that assassinated John Lennon? Like, I never noticed this before, but it really, it really made me happy. So I thought that was kind of cool.
That is great, honestly. And same for you, as you said. If you hadn't have seen that, I would never. I've seen it billions of times.
I know.
Never picked up on it, ever.
I probably noticed the assassination and infiltration, because you're supposed to see
the first bit, but I've never read it down.
Okay, the government's training her to be an assassin. And then I just happened to write it because I wanted to write the chapter number in case that was important. Chapter 11 is what, I don't know if it's the same in the UK, but in America, chapter 11 means you go bankrupt. No, I didn't know if
I don't think it does here, no.
Yeah, I mean, that's just why I hit pause, just to see if there was anything I noticed. And I was like, and I'm reading this, and I'm like, I know that song. Like, I was so excited.
That's
so
crazy.
I think our dear Claire is going to put a link to that song just for funsies, so you can understand the lyrics and see what was written.
I'm going to find links in the description, and we'll put those in on the other upload that's not the live one. The second one we'll put up, all the links will be there. We'll sort that. But yeah, that is a great fact. And it's like, again, as a rewatch for both of us, we're both learning stuff, even though we've seen them a billion times.
I know. And again, this is my love of Whedonverse for what it was. There were so many layers to
intricate stories overlaid over massive space.
Like, he has all these little Easter eggs and little innuendo and innuendo and all these like things.
Todd high five.
Yeah. 5 by 5, bitches. And I, like I said, it breaks my heart that maybe he's a terrible human, because I love his work.
It
and
breaks
I'm not
all our
ashamed
hearts,
of that, which again, we'll have that talk another day.
We will go there. But that's the somber one. Now, is it next week we are going to just do Prophecy Girl?
Let me see. I was trying to think if you wanted to do Prophecy Girl and the first episode of season 2
I'm
as
happy
it's
with that.
kind of like an arc story.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yep, that's fine with us.
So
Fine with
I
me.
think that'll
All
be
good.
great. Next week we'll do Prophecy Girl, which is, so I guess season 1 of Buffy was a short season. They probably didn't know if it
Yeah,
was
I feel
going
that we're
to.
kind of laying it out to check people wanted
Yeah,
it.
I mean, who
possibly.
knows if it's going to get picked up and do as well as
Yeah,
it did.
exactly.
So we're watching episode 12, Prophecy Girl, next week. And then I think we'll jump right into When She Was Bad, because it's kind of an arc story.
It is.
And I think
Absolutely.
this way, and then we'll jump right into season 2.
Yep.
And honestly, then season 2 is, I think, where a lot of the silly episodes come in that I kind of do enjoy.
Monster of the Week kind of jobs, and I love them. There's some really
just
good
something so
episodes too I
endearing
love.
about them, yeah.
And that's the
not so
first appearance of a Halloween properly episode as well.
Every Halloween episode is my favorite.
Oh.
Everyone. I love them all.
I'm there with you.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that goes for any show, anywhere, anytime.
Yeah, it's always a nice part of the season of any show. You are so right. I love that.
I do too. So yeah, so that's really our what we have to say on this. Hopefully, if you guys would comment, like, subscribe, ring that notification bell.
Yeah, check your little bell in the corner.
Bell. You know, we really are just enjoying this. And I know Claire, my friend Joe, in the next week or 2 is going to come on and
excellent.
do an episode with us. And we've said this before, but anybody that's a fan,
anybody,
I know
come
it's
on,
kind of
talk
hard
to us
with
about it. We'd love to see it.
Yeah, I know it's kind of hard with the timing with 2:00 Eastern Standard and 7.
But we can kind of move at points for people if they really want to come on. We could do that. We can sort it.
We can move. We have wiggle room. Just we can't go too late. Like it is hard because poor Claire has to stay up late at night. But she would do it.
Well, I am the man of this. I can do it.
She can do it. I can do it. So we would love if anybody wants to come on.
I think Rich is going to pop on at some point and watch Couple. I think he's going to watch Couple and Rich is going to pop on. I know Clinton said at some point he wanted to pop on, but obviously timing with him with other stuff he's got to watch. So, Ryan, if you want to come back on again, we'd love to have you. It was great.
We can do an evening or a late morning if you go into work late. We can do something like that.
We can do something.
But yeah, so Joe, which hopefully you'll meet in a couple of weeks, one of my
lovely. Can't wait.
I'm older than him, so I don't want to hear that he's the oldest.
No,
he and I watched together from the beginning. He was my Buffy.
Awesome! Can't wait. That's such a nice thing as well. You know, those first memories of seeing it straight first out are some of my favorite memories.
So good, yeah. So I guess that's all I have for you guys. I just want to thank you we've actually gotten some really nice positive feedback. I do want to show
people
you
have been lovely.
Scream Until You Like It, which is a Facebook group you should all consider joining. Hamityville Hangouts and Perfect Turd Podcast. We always like to thank them for giving us a shout out. And you guys are amazing and we love you.
We love you so much, and we will be back next week.
Mwah. Bye.